Hello, everybody. Hi, Wanda. So glad to have you with us this evening. Hope everybody is doing well. I'm so glad to be back. I was away last week. I had a really great trip. So much fun. I got to see some people that I usually only see on the where we're seeing each other, and that was really great. Some of them I met for the first time, and that was really fantastic. So so glad that I had that opportunity and that experience. Also glad to be home, like to be home. And we've got some fun stuff planned. I just want to make sure we're all doing good, that we're showing up in all the right places. And so let me just check that really quick. And let's see that we are doing all the things. Looks like we are all good. And so let's go ahead and we're going to be playing with Sweeter with You. We just did an unboxing and made one alternate with you guys the week before I was away. So I'm going to go ahead and put you guys down the table because I think it's easier to see that way. So let's go ahead and do that. Hi, everybody. Please say hello in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from. It's so good to have you with us. All right, so here we go, and let me see if I can do this right. There we go. All right. Okay, so let's just do some announcements really quick. We are in the August Paper Pumpkin subscription period, and if you are not signed up for the August Farmhouse Florals, you do not want to miss it because we get two stamp sets in this kit. And there's just an additional one, and you can kind of see that stamp set in the image on here. Looks like there's like a little teapot, some flowers, some other little accents, stamps as well. There's some sentiments, and I believe this one talks about being able to, it's a whimsical cards featuring flowers nested in delightfully unexpected places. So I'm guessing one delightfully, what was that? Unexpected place is a teapot. That's my guess. And so I'm really looking forward to this kit. I think it'll be fun. Farmhouse Florals sounds fun. I know we get a lot of flowers, but they're always a lot of fun. So after August, we have Fall for Twall. And I know by then we will all be excited to play with fall things. I know the stores are going to start showing up with Halloween and Christmas any day now because that's how they are. And so I just think it's great to have and give all the attention we can to Halloween and Thanksgiving especially. And so the other thing I wanted to mention to you are the dies, the coordinating dies. This is Circle of Seasons, and they are really fantastic, y'all. I have them here. I always get myself 2 sets of these just so I can have multiples to be able to do more than one die at a time, because they're so reasonable. The cost is so reasonable. But I have one to add that I hadn't cut before, and so I have our little flower. Oh, I had done a flower, but look at that in the yellow. That's Daffodil Delight. Is it kind of dark? It seems kind of dark. Let me see if I can fix that a little bit. But maybe it's just me on my the way my screen is tilted. I think it's just me. You let me know if it looks dark. But I just really love this little flower. It's got lots of little details in it. And so very, very fun. These dies are really great in this particular quarter. I have really enjoyed them a lot. And so we're gonna actually be playing with them tonight. So very fun. I'm just gonna set them aside for the time being. And let's go ahead and look at what we created last time. And so these are the cards that the kit was intended to create. And there are 4 designs, okay? And you get 2 of each, okay? And so then we made an alternate card that first night. And so we have this card here that we designed. I have 2 cards planned for us tonight. One of them is going to take a little bit of time, I think. Actually, both of them might, just because they're a little bit more detailed, and love to bring you that different type of experience, not just always so simple. We are going to do a little technique that I've never done with you guys before. It's called dry inlaid embossing. And so we are going to get started with the first card here. And I'm going to get the things out. So we're going to use Pool Party as the card base. Yes, Halloween is out already, Wanda. I'm not surprised. You know, thankfully we can hold out a little bit. So we're going to have Pool Party. We are going to cut a little piece from this card base. And I did do a little bit of the things beforehand just because I felt like it was going to take a little while. And so I have cut from here a piece that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I'm gonna go ahead and just write that on the back of here just so I can remind myself, because we're gonna glue that down. That'll just make all the things easier. And I do have a piece of basic white that is 3 inches by 4 inches that we'll use, okay? And I did cut a circle die from the coordinating dies already. And I have a piece for the inside of the card that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Okay. And then I also have here the other die cut in the coordinating dies, that hello, that we'll be using as well. So let's go ahead and start to just trim some of our things down. We have the one piece cut. I'm going to use the rest of this card base. This is the dotted one. We're going to use the rest of this on the next card. So I'm going to put it with those materials. Where did I put them? They are here. They're just hiding from me. Oh my goodness. Where did they go? Oh, here, they're right there. Right where I put them. All right. So I'm going to get my trimmer out and we are going to cut this down. This piece, we are going to just cut a layer that is 3 3/4 inch. And I want the tallest part of the piece to be it's going to be 5 inches. So I want to make sure that my strawberries are going in the right direction. Okay. And so that's why I'm hesitating. I just want to make sure that I have things going in the right direction. So again, the width of it is 3 3/4. So I'm going to cut that. And then I'm going to trim this off at 5 inches. And we may use this on the inside of the card just to create a little bit of extra interest there. And I am putting this piece aside. We will use it maybe next week on a card. Okay. And then I think I still need to score my card base here. So our card base is 4 1/4 by 11. And we are going to score it at 5.5 inches. So pretty standard card base. I guess I would say top fold. It's probably my favorite type of card base, mainly because when I take a photo of my card, I can see it really well in the camera, and so it just works better. All right, so this is going to be a front layer on our card, so I'm going to set that aside. Okay. And then what I said was we're going to do this technique called dry inlaid embossing. And so to help us with the process, I went ahead and did some die cutting. And so what we are going to do is you could do this technique with a punch. You can do it with die cuts, but what we're doing is we're going to add some elements to this piece of what I'm going to call DSP, but it's that card base that we cut up. Okay. We're going to add some elements to the top of this, and I'm just getting all my pieces out. I thought I had it out pretty easily, but I didn't, I guess. So let me just get all these little pieces out. It's because I die cut some strawberries for us. Okay. And I have 2 that are going to be with the Poppy Parade on top and the strawberry slush on the bottom. And then I have 1 that's going to be Poppy Parade on the bottom with strawberry slush on the top. And then I have the little leaves of the strawberries. I have 2 in the garden green and 1 in old olive. I also cut 3 of the flowers in Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to get those out of my little baggie here that I've got all my stuff in. Where's my other little flower? It's in here. It's just hiding. See if I can find it. See if I can locate it here. This wants to hide from me. Oh my goodness. It's really, oh, there it is. I really decided to escape. All right, so there we have that. Okay. And all right, so I am gonna just stick all these back inside of my little handy little pocket here. And by the way, if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber with me, you get one of these little pockets in the mail every month as my little thank you to you for being a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. I love it because it holds our stamps. Okay. And it holds the little sheet perfectly, but it also works great for the dies. And so that's what I do for my Paper Pumpkin subscribers each month to say thank you. So I'm just going to set those out of the way. All right. So what we're going to do here is we are going to layer up these things onto our piece of the polka dot card base. Okay. And so I'm just doing a little bit of glue onto that die with the holes in it, and I'm placing it over the Poppy Parade right here. Okay, and so that we have the Poppy Parade poking through so you can see the color of the strawberries, and it gives a little bit of depth there. And then we're going to do it with these other 2, and it's just the opposite. So we have the Poppy Parade on top. And again, I just need this to get tacked down so it stays secure. And just a little bit of that multi-purpose liquid glue does perfectly. And I'm just putting it on the outer edge. Okay, so there we have that one. We have one more here that we are going to do. And then we can start to put our pieces on to our little piece here. Okay. All right, so now we have that. Those will dry a little bit. I'm going to go back to the first one, and we're going to start to put these down. Actually, I want this one. All right, so I'm just going to layer them onto this little piece that I cut off, and I'm going to start with just putting one strawberry down here at the bottom. Going in this direction, I'm going to use the garden green leaf on it. Again, very little glue I am adding. I'm just adding that to the top of there. All right, now I'm going to do this strawberry. And it's going to go right here like so. And we're going to put this topper on here with it. And I'm just going to kind of tilt it a little bit off that way. All right, and then I'm going to put this one on, and maybe we'll move it up just a little bit. There we go. And we're going to have it right here like so. And then we're going to add our leafy piece at the top of there. All right. And we're just layering these on to here. Now I have this little piece is just sticking up the top. I'm okay with that. I don't have any problem with that at all. So now we're going to add some flowers. All right. And I'm just, again, doing a little tiny bit of glue on here. I want to get these tacked down. So we're just adding the little flower onto there. And so you can see that, right? All right, and then we are going to add another little flower. I think you're getting the idea here. It's going to go up here like so. And then this one is going to go on here as well. And get my little holder standing back up. And I'm going to just put it right there. So we have our little piece, right? And so now that we've layered things together, this is where you get the embossing. So I am using the embossing folder. Where did it go? It's hiding from me. I am using, oops, I'm having a little bit of an avalanche when I'm trying to grab my stuff here because it's getting, I don't have a big amount of space off to the side of here, and so it's getting a little cluttered up. All right, so I'm using this embossing folder, and it is called Dotted Circles, and it's a 3D embossing folder. Okay. And so you can now take this little piece here that we've glued all these items down onto, and you're going to use your Stamp and Emboss machine. And it's the basic cutting plate, that the number 1 and then the number 4 for a 3D embossing. Okay. And so this just goes in the middle of here. And what I did was I just kind of put it off to the side. So instead of, I could have put it right in the center, but I put it off to the side just so it would all like be radiating out like that. Okay. And then you would close it up and you would put this on top and you put it through your die cutting machine. And when you do, you get this. And so this is what we have now. All right. So just because the die cutting machine is so big, it's just hard to do it in the picture. And so that is what is called inlaid dry embossing. And I love this idea only because it's just different and you get a different texture to your card. Like embossing is fun, but now you've added all these other layers. And as we put this together, you'll see that it will just be one more little element that can stand out on your card. So I'm just going to put my little thing aside because I will run that through later. And we'll continue on with our card here. So let me just, oh, I'm already trying to sneak away some of my pieces. And then I would be looking for that. So let's just keep ourselves organized too a bit. All right. So I'm going to bring back my card base. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and burnish my fold line. Just making sure I have everything lined up. So let me get my foam folder. Have you ever done this inlaid embossing, dry embossing before? I have done it, but it's been a long time ago. And I just thought it would be so fun to do that tonight. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of stamping on the inside of our card. And like I said, I think we'll use that little piece. I think we'll use that at the bottom of this. So we'll just keep it out for kind of measure of where we want things to go. But let's see. I'm thinking about putting a couple strawberries on here. So I did grab the Poppy Parade ink and the strawberry slush and the 2 greens just to see what we come up with. So let's get our stamps out. All right. Because another fun little technique to do on the stamps is to do something called like thumping. Okay. And so I'm just going to get out the stamps we need first. So we need this leaf for the top of the strawberries. And then I'm going to grab one of the flowers. I don't think I want both of them. All right. And we're going to stop there for now. I'm going to grab my little test paper that I had out from before. Let me just fold this up so we get a clean side. Just so that we can try this out, because what I think I want is we're going to use the strawberry slush. Okay. And then we're going to use the Poppy Parade to do a little thumping on it. Okay. And that's going to give it a little two-tone texture. And a lot of people, when they do this thumping, they will use a sponge dauber or something like that. I'm going to use one of our blending brushes. Okay. And so you can get this blending brush and just do your thumping in this manner. Okay. And you can see it just brings ink onto the paper. So let's go ahead and ink up our strawberry over here. Okay. Get a good coverage. All right, now I'm going to come over here and get some of my Poppy Parade, and I'm going to just dab that on this side over here. Okay. And then let's see how this looks, because I haven't tried it. I'm doing it live with you here. All right. And that's what that looks like. So you get kind of a two-tone kind of look. All right. So let's go ahead. I want to get my little cleaner here. I think I might do a little bit lighter or less, I would say, on the Poppy Parade side. I was actually expecting it to be a little bit more, I guess, darker, but it's not actually. So let's just try this one more time. Oh yeah, I like that better. It's just a hint of it there. This looked like a stripe down the middle, and so we're just gonna do that and go with that, because I think that that's gonna be a lot easier, or less, it'll look less funny, I guess, kind of a thing. All right, so one more time here, just inking up the strawberry slush. And then I'm getting some Poppy Parade, and I'm going to go ahead and just do it on this one side over here. All right. And then I'm going to bring my little insert in. I'm going to put a strawberry right there. Okay, like that. And now I'm going to do it the opposite direction. Now we're going to go, we're going to put the Poppy Parade on first. Okay. And then we will tap with our strawberry slush. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of clean off my blending brush here. Just get that kind of cleaned off, and we'll roll this over, but I want to be able to use this side here. So now I'm going to ink up my Poppy Parade. All right. And now I'm going to get some strawberry slush on here, and I'm going to just dab that over here on this side. Now let's see what that looks like. Well, that doesn't show very much at all. So let's try that again, especially now that I have it stamped off. Let's see if we see that. Oh, I like that. That looks nice. All right, so let's do this again, and we'll put it onto our card. I think I got that how I want it. And so we are going to do our Poppy Parade. All right, and then we're going to stamp off. All right, now I'm going to get some strawberry slush, and I'm going to put that on here. And then we're going to stamp right on here like so. And I'm just going to put them right next to each other. There we go. And so that's what we end up with. And so the thumping can give you shading on your stamp, which I think is really kind of nice. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put those colors up for now. And then we're going to get out the old olive. All right. So I got my old olive. All right. And the garden green. All right. And let's go ahead and get my leaf topper. I'm going to put my blending brush away. I'm going to get a different one out. Just make sure that's clean. All right. So here I'm going to start with the old olive, and I think that's the ticket is. I'm going to stamp it off. All right. And then I'm going to come in on the edges with the garden green, and we're going to put that right on the top of our strawberry. So that's what we get. Very nice. I love it. All right. Now I'm going to clean that off, and we're going to go the opposite direction with our stamp. Now, I don't know how well this will work because of the fact that the garden green to me is a lighter shade, but we're going to try it. All right. So we're going to start out with the garden green, and we'll stamp off. Well, we didn't get good coverage on that at all. All right, so let's just see here. Might need to ink my pad up. All right, that looks better. Okay, now let's get the garden green. I'm just going to go on this edge here, and we're just going to bring it in on the top over here. All right. And then we'll bring our card back in, and we will put our on top of there. Yeah, that doesn't show nearly as much as the other one, but I just love having the ability to give that dimension and texture with just a little bit of thumping. So I think that's a very good technique for you to try out if you have the colors. You just need a light shade and a darker shade to be able to do that. And I think that's perfect. Okay, so now we need to have I think, a little bit of a sentiment that we're going to add to our card. And I've cut a piece of, this is just a piece that got trimmed off of one of the card bases that we were cutting. And so we have hello, and I wanted to put you're the best with it. Because sometimes that's how I feel about a strawberry. They're the best. Okay. And so I'm going to use the strawberry slush to stamp that onto that little white piece. All right. And so here we go with that. And where is my foam mat? Took it away. All right, here we go. And we're just going to put it at this side over here. We might need to trim this a little bit. We'll see once we get to putting our card together, but that's that piece there. So you're the best. All right. And so there we have that piece. All right. Okay, I think we have all of our pieces now, and we can start to put our card together. All right, so let's go ahead and do the inside of our card. Let me get this out of the way. All right, so we have our little strawberries at the bottom of here. And so we'll put this down first. All right, and just using a little bit of the multi-purpose liquid glue like so. All right, and that's just going to go right inside with a little tiny border on here. And we're just going to go ahead and smooth that out. All right. And then I have this little piece here that we're going to bring in. And I'm just putting it at the edge of the bottom of the strawberries. I think it's kind of funny. There's two strawberry bottoms right there that are kind of funny. I guess I could move. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it right in the center. There's a little bit of space on each side because this piece was just, this is the size of it. Okay. And, but I still wanted to use that. So I am going to bring it up just a tad. I think that will look better on here. So let me just see if I can make sure I have it straight. Looks like I do. There we go. And so that's going to be the inside of our card. Very fun, don't you think? And we could put a sentiment in here if we wanted, but I'd rather leave it blank for a little message. So I think this works out just fine. All right, so now we have our pieces that we're going to layer up here. Okay, and so we have this piece that's going to go on. And this piece is going to get layered on this piece of basic white. So let's do that first. All right. And when you have a embossing folder with such depth of the embossing marks, it's good to use a liquid glue just so that you can get better coverage and adherence to the paper. So let's just go ahead and get this on here. A little crooked, so I'm trying to wiggle around a little bit, which is another great thing about multi-purpose liquid glue. All right, so I'm just gonna flip that over, do a little pressing there, and make sure we got things tucked down. Some of the flatter spots. And so that's what that piece looks like. I just love this so much. So pretty. And I love how it kind of becomes one, but also it has even more dimension than the paper itself. And that dot embossing folder, because it's such depth, the card base, it's kind of like pressed it apart a little bit, so it almost looks like it's got a little bit of a crackling going on in the texture of the card base that was used. I don't know if you can see that at all there, but it's really pretty fun. All right, so we're going to put this on with some dimensionals, but so first let's put this down to our card base. All right, and so let's just go ahead and get this glued down like so. And this just has about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. I decided I wanted a little bit more of a border around it. Okay. And then this is going to go on top of here like so. But before we put it on, I wanted to use a little bit of the baker's twine, the white, to wrap a little around it and put just a little bow on it. Man, I gotta figure out which scissors I need to be using because those are like a hatchet job with that. So let's go ahead and tie a little bow on here. And we're gonna put it off to the right, or the left side, I should say. So I'm just making sure I have enough of a tail over there to do the bow. So here we go. And that looks pretty good. Let's just tidy it up a bit. There we go. Make sure they are good. Okay, I know it's this one. Look at that. How wonderful. All right, very good. So we have that now. And now we're going to put this down with our dimensionals. Okay. And I have some dimensionals here. Okay. My husband is making chicken soup. It smells so good. I don't know if you've ever had the bone broth before by, it's called, the maker of it is Fond, Fond. It is so good. They have some really delicious flavors. And the one we have has a lot of black pepper in it, and it is so delicious. All right, so we're going to put this on here. I'm going to do my best to get it as straight on here as possible. I think that's about right. All right, so now that's on there, and I love it. It gives a little bit of a shadow around the edge. Oh, thanks, Wanda. I'm so glad you like it. All right, so now we are going to add our little circle die cut right here. All right, and our hello is going to go on there, and then I just thought we would have "you're the best" at the bottom. So I am going to trim this. Let me get the scissors that don't cut ribbon out here to use, and I'm just eyeballing this. So I know not everybody feels comfortable with that, but I really am okay. And so there we have that piece that we're going to add onto here. All right, so I'm going to, let's see, I just want to make sure I get my glue in the right spot. So I want to get it up here, on here. Let's get it going. Trying to be really careful I don't get a ton out of there, so that we are not making a big globby mess. I think it was on the Stampin' Up! Scrapbooking event that somebody talked about how they do their little stuff and make it into a repositionable piece, which I actually think is a smart idea. So I'm just putting that on there like so. And then we're going to have this "you're the best." It's going to go right down here at the bottom. And again, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here so that we can just tack it down. So our little hello is going a little slanted, but this we're going to have going straight across. Okay, just like that. Okay, so that's what that looks like there. All right. All right, then we're going to add a few let's see. Do I want dimensionals on here? I'm just really wondering if I can put them on the edge here and at the bottom. I wonder if I could just figure out where we're going to go on here and just put them on the edge. I think I want it right there. And one down here, like so. I think that's going to work out just fine. Yep, that's going to be perfect. And then I could put a little glue right here to tack this down. Just put a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to take up my dimensional covers. And then we'll flip this over like so. And we'll get this laid on here. Make sure we got it straight, meaning the you're the best. I want that to be straight. And now we have that all tacked down. Okay. So that is our little card front. I think it's adorable. We're not done because I also thought with those flowers that we could add in some of the in colors, the flat pearls, and use the darling duckling ones to put some centers onto our flowers. So let me, where is my little poker tool? I had it here a minute ago, but I was using it. Here it is. It's hiding. I haven't gotten all my tools back where I want them from my trips. So I'm using things I don't normally use, but oh, I think this is going to be perfect on here. And just give it a little extra bling on here and fun to this card base. All right. And so that is perfect on here. Let me just put these away. And then I will show you guys. So look at that. Don't you love it? I love it. So fun. So fun. All right. So that's our first card. I knew this card was going to take a little bit longer, and the other one is kind of a little tedious as well. So we'll get moving on it. I'm sure everybody wishes I would go a little faster, but I am the way I am. And so you can always watch a replay and speed on through. All right, so we have some additional pieces here, and I need that other piece. What did I do with it? Is it in here? I do not see it. Where did my dot paper go? My leftover. It was here. It fell off into the abyss. I got it though. It slid to the back. All right, so we have our little piece here, and I have some instructions. I've got a few of the die cuts from the kit as well. And you know how much I love to use those sketches from the sheet loads of cards. And so we are going to use this sketch right here to make this card. All right, we're going to start with a card base of Timid Tiger. So it is 5.5 by 8.5. So we're going to go ahead and score it at 4 1/4. So let me just get my stamps out of the way so that we don't get ink on what we're doing. And so let's go ahead and score this here. All right, and then we'll set that aside. We're going to use this envelope from the last time to do the inside of our card layers, so you have a place to write. So I'm just going to trim this down pretty quick and get that piece ready to go. So now I want this to be 5 1/4. All right, so that's that piece. Now this is open, and I'm going to go ahead and trim this off here. And again, I might keep that. You never know. Might need it for something. And now I'm going to trim this to 4. And I'm going to keep this little piece because it might come in handy. And that cute little edge strip there, because we have a garden green card base left that we're going to use. So this is going to go on the inside of the card. Now for, I have a couple notes here. So I've got to make some cuts on this. I need 4 pieces that are 2 inches by 3 3/4. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and cut off 3 3/4 twice, because I believe, let me just make sure I got that right. Okay, 3 3/4, because I know that this is more than 4 inches. So I'll be able to get 2 out of each of these. And then I have the rest of this that I can use on another card. All right, so now I'm going to cut this down to 4 and then 2. All right, so now we have 2. Now I need 2 more. Okay, there we go. And then 2. All right, that's our 4 inch. There's 4 pieces, 2 3/4. I'm sorry, 2 inches by 3 1/4 inch. All right, now I'm going to use this card base to do some additional strips. And these strips need to be also 3 3/4 inches, but they're going to need to be 3 1/4 inch by 3 3/4 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this way. And let's see what we get. All right. So I don't think I'm going to get 4 out of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim another one off. And I figure the rest of this I can use on a different card. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that aside. All right. So now I need these to be 3 1/4. All right. I'm going to flip them around so I don't get the score line in there. Okay. So 3 1/4 again. All right. And I have another one over here to do the same again. All right. Boom. And one more. Okay. That's that. All right. I'm going to just keep those. Who knows? Might want them. All right. So now I believe I have one other thing I wanted to do. So this piece called for like a 3-inch circle, and I wanted to use the elements in the kit. So this circle right here is only, well, it's not quite, it's a little bit over 2.5. Okay. So what I decided to do was I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to cut this down. I want it to be 3 1/2 inches. Okay. But I'm going to trim this off at 2 inches. Well, actually 3 1/2, 1 1/2. I'm going to get 2 and 3. I'm going to do 1 3/4 right here. Okay. And then I am going to do 2, and hopefully I can stick it together properly. It's going to be hidden, but I would like to put it together as much as, there we go. It's going to work out just fine. So I am going to like match the scallops up when I put it together. And that way it's going to be a piece like this, but it's that the cut line is going to get covered up because I am going to be putting this on top of it, and that is going to take care of it. So you'll see what I mean. All right. So we're going to go ahead and put this together. And I actually think I might do 2 in because I think that makes it more aligned properly. Yes, that's going to be perfect. So I'm going to actually do 2 of these scallops together. I'll just do that right now before I forget what I'm doing. All right. We're just lining those up. And like I said, that cut line is not going to be showing. It's going to be behind the other scallop circle. All right. And so there we have that piece. All right. So I'm just going to set that aside with our other pieces. All right. And then I have the circle scallop also from the kit, but I am bringing in one of the circles dies from the die because look at how cute it fits perfectly on top of there. I just love it. All right. And then we have this we're going to stamp. And I'm going to get out my foam mat and we're going to get that stamp out, which it is right here. And that is the one that says, hello, friend, on it. I have a nice block here. And I want to use, again, the strawberry slush on here because I just think this whole card is a little bit strawberry slush and timid tiger. And we're just going to stick with the theme. All right. So I'm just lining this up on here. And there we go. And we're hoping for the best. Oh, I'm so glad, Wanda. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I know I kind of go long and talk and chit chat, but we're crafting, right? And that's what it's all about. All right, so there's our hello friend for on top. And I did pull out some flowers and a little strawberry we might add. So not sure exactly how it'll all come together, but let's go ahead and start to put our pieces together. So I'm just getting out my little map here and it's going to tell me how to do it. All right, now I have a feeling already that I didn't cut accordingly to what I was supposed to, but it doesn't really matter. It is what it is. All right, so I think these are, I'm just laying it out because I want to see how it goes. All right. But I'm guessing it would have been better if I had cut these out of the 2 different pieces so that they're not all together. But I'm okay with it. Nobody will know except you and I. And even at that, I can just switch these up because they are different. All right, so that's that. That's how that's going. I just want to get these kind of laid out so I know the positioning before we glue. All right, so this is, I see that it's getting just a little bit bigger border around it than what I thought. All right, so put this one down here because this one's on the top, and then we'll do this one this way, like so. All right, so that's how it ends up being. And we do end up with that little extra little gap there. And so I just think this is so cute. All right, so let's go ahead and start to put these down. And normally when I do stuff like this, I try to go corner to corner because that way I can make things match up the best possible once they get to the center. All right, so I am just bringing this, making sure we got this straight there. All right. And so now I am literally going to go over here in this corner and do this one. And I'm getting to the end of my multi-purpose liquid glue. All right. I got a little goopy there on that edge. I'm going to be careful. We're going to be careful so we don't get any poking out. All right. I think we just need to bring it up just a little. Just a little. There, I think that matches the other side. All right, now let's do this corner out here. Not be so zealous with my glue. So I'm not making too big of a mess. All right. So now this one's going to go right here. And we're just, lining it up. All right. I know some people would need to get their ruler out, and that's just fine. You do you. All right. I'm okay with it being not perfect, but I do want it to be straight. Don't get me wrong. All right. So there's that. All right. So now we're going to just come back and do it all over again on the next one around, or the next one in, I should say. All right, so now this one is going right there. Like that. And then we'll do this one. Make sure I lay it down in the right direction. Like this. I think that's right. All right, we doing good? We're doing good. All right, so now we have this one to put down. And I do think it would look cute. I might do another one with the, the things doing different, some of the plaid here, all of that kind of a thing. But I think this is good. Good for now. Good for now. All right. So now we have this one, last one here. And that's going to go right here. All right. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. What do you think? What do you think? I think it's cute. All right, so now let's put our pieces together, because we'll put this on with some dimensionals. And to be honest, I might even like to make it a little crooked, but I don't know. I might have to just keep it the way it is. Oh, how did I get that off? I'm seeing a little edge there. I want to trim behind there, so that I don't see that little edge of the scallop. I don't see it on the other side. I'm only seeing it on this side. So now I don't see that at all. No little extra edge there. All right, so that's going to go there. And it looks like it fits perfectly at like between these two and at the edge of there. So I think that's where it's going to go. Oh, lots of hearts. Thank you. All right, so let's put our strawberry slush circle die onto our white scalloped circle die from the kit. All right, so now we have that on here. And that's going to go right on top of there. Now, I could have just done that, right? That's could have been the plan. I just wanted more ground cover, which is what we have here. All right, so let's put our deal together. So these are going to go together, and we're going to put this on with some, this piece is going to go down with glue. We're going to put this on with some dimensionals. All right, so let's go ahead and glue this down. And I'm just wanting to make sure I get it adhered good. All right, so looks like this goes right here. I think that's right where it goes. Okay, so that piece is there. All right, and this is going to come on here like so. And then I thought we might add some of our other pieces onto here just to give it a little bit of extra fun. All right, so I'm going to glue my Hello Friend to the front of our circle. All right, so and I'm just doing it a little bit cockeyed. All right, and this is going to get some dimensionals on it like so. Okay, and then we'll bring those other things back in. So let's take our dimensional covers off like so. And we are just going to put this down. Just want to make sure I get it straight on here. So if I'm doing this a little cockeyed, that's what I want, is to make sure I got this on here straight. There we go. All right, so now we're going to add in our strawberry. I'm going to put it right down here like so. And we'll add a little flower to it. How about right here? Whoops, that slid around. There we go. And then we'll add a strawberry onto here. Or not a strawberry, one of the little flowers. And then we'll put another flower right up here. Like so. Just gonna scoot it over a little bit. All right, so now let's put our card together. Let's go ahead and fold our card face. Love this Timid Tiger color. I just think it's dreamy. I think it looks almost, it's a little bit dark for a dreamsicle, but it reminds me of a dreamsicle. All right. Here we go. Get our base down on the inside. All right, and now this piece is going to get put right on the outside like so. And we're just going to glue it down because there's lots of other pieces going on the top of there. And so we don't need to add any more layer to it like so. All right, I'm just going to do this to smooth it out. There we have that. And I'm going to get those yellow dots again. And we're going to use a little bit bigger one just so we're not using up all the tiny ones for this one. And add some centers to our flowers. And that is our second card. So I hope you like that one. All right, so those are the two cards I had for you today. I'm just a few minutes over our hour, and I hope you love them. And I just thank you for joining me this evening. And if you're catching the replay, thank you for stopping by. And I hope that if you are stopping by for a replay, that you'll leave me a comment, tell me where you're watching from, and say hello. And let me know what you think, if you like these cards. We did a couple of different techniques, the inlaid dry embossing and the pouncing. And then we did this whole fun patchwork kind of layout. And so I hope that you guys all have a great rest of your weekend and your week ahead. And I will see you next week. Bye, everybody.